How's it going, everyone? In this video, we're covering all the shocking news that got released during this week from Apple. So we're going to go ahead and cover not just the beta 2 features and important changes available on the iPhone, CarPlay, as well as the Apple TV, but also talk about the price jumps that we've seen on some Apple products. All that and more in today's video, and yes, timestamps of everything will be in the description down below for your pleasure. So let's immediately jump into iOS 27 beta 2 update, and the build number is right there. But without jabbering about nonsense, let's hop in right into the new changes and features. So one of the new dramatic features and improvements can be the media playing. Now whenever you have music playing on your iPhone, if we force close this app and go ahead and launch music one more time, and we just hit like a random song to start listening to, hit play, you know, your lock screen now will have your now playing. Well, back then when you swipe to dismiss it, there you go. When you move in, clear it out, it was kind of challenging to get it back. It still kind of is the case, because if we go out of here and we select like a new playlist to start listening to, and we lock our device, you'll see that we don't have that anymore still. Like the media now playing tool is still gone. But now whenever you force close the app or start a new app with media controls, now if you relaunch that music app as an example, hit play, it's easier to make a comeback, as you just witnessed me do right there. So improvement basically from the media swipe ability. And then the home app also got improved as well for HomeKit. You get a new splash screen, but now if you have an Apple TV that's connected to your device, you'll be able to update the Apple TV from the home app now. And then if we get out of here real quick, the new little dot indicator right here where your cursor is when you're typing on the Siri search has been updated. Now it's less glowy, it's easier to see what's going on. And whenever you activate Siri, the little bubble is slightly smaller as well. In terms of new UI changes, if we go into settings and we go into the Siri tab right in here, Siri AI now is listed on top. Previously it just said Siri Intelligence, now it actually says Siri AI. But if you go into Express Voices as an example, and you select voice, now on bottom over here it says coming soon. It's still kind of hard to understand what coming soon to mean, if this feature is even coming out to iOS 27, but something tells me they're still tweaking on their side, so later on we'll have the ability to slide and personalize the voice to our personal preference. Now, new for Siri AI is Siri has its own dedicated app, of course. When you launch the Siri app, there's a couple of subtle changes here as well. Not only can you select between grid or list view, but now whenever you select this, you now have a select tool, so you could delete multiple conversations at once. And it also keep track on like which one of these conversations was made during CarPlay, which hint that little CarPlay vehicle icon, and which one that you made while you're operating your phone. So it keeps track of CarPlay conversations as well as your smartphone conversations you had with Siri, which is kind of interesting. And then whenever you're having a conversation with somebody, you now have a new tool right above here, which used to be like on a corner somewhere tucked away. Now you have the ability to write with Siri. So you can ask Siri, what's on my screen, make a quick reply with me, and then Siri will pop up, it will examine the screen, and you can just ask it general questions on what the screen is showing. You can ask Siri, hey, what is this? What is that? Hey, make me a quick reply. I've used it once or twice already. Pretty cool. In addition to that, I also noticed Siri is much more faster and quicker to respond, and super helpful, especially on CarPlay. On CarPlay, I've noticed that Siri will actually ask you if it's not sure what certain like sentences or words you said. So instead of saying like police, Siri may be like, I'm sorry, what was that section that you meant, pull or the police? And you could just correct it before it sends the message. I thought that was a really useful tool. You have to definitely try it if you're on the developer beta. With this update, Siri is so much better with CarPlay. Now, another cool feature can be located in the camera app, because the camera app, if you lift it up, right, notice how the icons are like not selected. This one's highlighted yellow, but if I cover the camera, it highlights the other tool with the yellow ring, so it's easier to see in a low light environment. Then if you ever take a raw photo, so we select raw, and we quickly go ahead and take a photo real quick, and we capture that photo, we were given a new tool. When you edit that raw image, you'll see new AI tools are now also available on Siri AI. Before, we didn't have this ability. It was only available for non-raw images. Now, exiting out of here and going back into the photo app. Now in the photo app, if you tap the three dots right here, there's now a new move to tool right here. So you can move it quickly to like a shared library or something like that. Before, this tool was always there, but you had to go to add to get the access to the move to section. Now something cool, like a really cool feature, can be located in the wallet app. When you launch the wallet app now, and you tap these dots right on top, you now have a new insight, which with insights, this will basically monitor all the data, transactions, account balances, and more. Very similar to like the Apple credit card. It will keep track of all the cards you have here, the spending and all that stuff, and keep it all organized, easily making like third-party apps obsolete, because some of these apps have been available on the App Store, but never native on the iPhone. Then real quick, folks, if you've been enjoying this video so far, I'd like to support the channel. If you could kindly take 2 seconds to hit that like button, that really does help out the channel, as that allows the channel to be powered by you guys, the viewers, which is why you don't see brand sponsorship segments on my channel for like a vacuum cleaner or something you really don't need, like a VPN or something like that. We all heard that pitch line so many times, it's kind of repetitive. But thanks to you guys, by just hitting the like button, allows the channel to just be powered by you guys, not brand, so we don't have those minute or two long integrated ads on these videos. So thank you so much for those that took the time on doing that. Let's carry on. Now, when it comes to small tweaks here and there, a fine example would be the glass. The liquid glass has also been updated slightly. You may have noticed that a little bit if you have liquid glass on Macs. So the liquid glass is updated again, slightly tweaked. Another new change can be located in Safari. Whenever you activate the notification, notify me for like price cuts and stuff, have certain products or changes on certain websites, the bell icon has been updated. It used to be blue. Now it's actually a different font and different design. Then another subtle change, whenever we had indexing our iPhone, the wording has been changed to optimized now, as your phone is learning your habits. And then the shortcut app also got a new update now too, as you now have toggles to turn automations on or off. So if we get out of here and we select automations, now you can manually turn them on or on, depending on what your personal preference, without having to delete them, or just delete them and start over. You can now have them manually turned off when you don't need it, and go back and manually turn them back on. Now let's go over the new changes in Apple CarPlay side of things. A thing that I did discover is non-compatible widgets for CarPlay are now compatible, because if you go on your iPhone as an example, and we go ahead and screen record real quick, you know how you would go to your iPhone settings and then go into your widget page in CarPlay. So in general, go in CarPlay and then select the vehicle you are connected to. So in our case, where you connect. If you go on the widget page and tap add widget, if you go all the way to the very bottom, there's now a new category I noticed that says other. When you select the other, it will allow you to add basically any widgets on your iPhone, even though they're not compatible on CarPlay. You could add it right here. So I could add like my Ford as an example, and I should be able to monitor it right here on stack 1. Here it is. I just might need to sign in, but now you have more widgets here, which is kind of cool. So all the widgets that you have on your iPhone or even on your Apple Watch as an example, it will now be displayed right here. You can override it so you can have it right there, so you can control like smart home appliances and stuff like that. Now, something interesting on Apple Maps, if you go on your like search, your pin items and stuff, if you keep going down, I think guides are new. Let me know in the comments if that's new, but I don't ever recall seeing like places I visit, my other like, I don't know, playlists, I guess I'll call them for now. Basically, guides are like playlists. You just create like certain things, like right here, one of my food dates, which I only have one place, which is kind of embarrassing. I have a lot more in mind though. But you can now just tap here and then just start your route from there, which is kind of cool. Additionally, GPS coordinates has been improved apparently, as the iPhone is now able to use more GPS antennas than before. So it says to be more accurate than ever before. We'll test that out in the next few betas, see if it really is true. If you're recording with your iPhone and you see that little like status yellow bar right there, a lot of people were confused on what that was. Now when you tap on it, it will actually tell you exactly what's going on and why that little icon is there. It's just an indicator letting you know that your microphone is active. Additionally, nothing changed in the new Siri app. That's one of the new key features. Not only do we have a new redesigned Siri animation, but now you have a new dedicated Siri app where it'll keep logs of all your past conversations. So you can click on it right here and begin your previous conversation, take off where you guys last left off. Very similar to like other AI apps like on CarPlay, like ChatGPT and such. And over here you have the ability to start a new log, which I just now noticed they changed it from the previous version, which was just a plus. Now it's actually like the note-taking icon right here to start new conversations. So that's a new subtle update that they changed right there for this version. And then if you're a user who uses the Apple Watch, your phone will keep track on when was the last connected to your device. So as soon as you turn off your car, it will mark that location on your, not just your iPhone now, but also now on the Apple Watch. With WatchOS 27 in your smart stack, it now will keep track of your vehicle. So if you misplace in a parking lot, which actually does happen, your Apple Watch will point you to the right direction, so you could easily find it in a crowded parking lot, especially if you're like at a theme park. That I could understand and see. So here's some price jumps from Mac Rumors. Feel free to take a screenshot. These are the devices that got a price increase. And price increases are not just going to stop there, as other Apple devices not yet mentioned will also be starting to see a price increase. Maybe the Apple Watch or the iPhone is next. And just like that, now you are up to date on all the new changes, news topics, as well as beta 2 features that are coming out on the iPhone and other devices as well. Now, this is currently the developer beta, so this is developer beta 2. And next month, sometime in July, the public beta will become available, and I'll be sure to keep you guys updated for that date as well. And the official launch for everybody else will be sometime during the fall time, typically around the time frame when Apple unveils their next generation iPhones. Other than that, now you're up to date on all the cool stuff that happened this week and bad stuff that happened this week and this shocking news. If you'd like to watch more, or maybe like to see that in-depth video of both the Apple Watch as well as the Apple TV next version of operating system, iOS 27 for their devices, I covered that in greater detail in these two videos, WatchOS 27, tvOS 27. Thank you so much for watching.